779-098-5. A lot missed today. I was busy all day long, and I'm sure you guys coming home tonight want to get caught up on everything happening in the sports world. Leadoff take brought to you by ESPN Bet Sportsbook. All our leadoff takes here on the night show are brought to you by ESPN Bet Sportsbook. So Thursday night should be a banger in the city. We were talking about this last night, but what ticket could you get to in town that's going to be bigger than USA Canada for the championship in Boston? Now, I know the World Cup's going to be coming up in about a year or so. I was trying to think of some other big games. You just had the NBA Finals here. But that, it was lit. I was there for the championship game, and it was loud. I was also underneath and could hear the roars at the Studio B over there. So it was loud. But when it comes to championships, or when it comes to big games, this thing on Thursday night is going to be something else. But there may be some players missing in that game, and one of them is Charlie McAvoy, who unfortunately was in a Boston hospital. It was reported this morning that he is dealing with some sort of infection. I'm sorry to hear that, but he's going to miss the game. And what does it mean for the Boston Bruins? In an exhibition game, Charlie McAvoy gets hurt. Don't know where. Had a big hit on McDavid. And now we'll miss that game and could miss additional time. Now, it doesn't sound like it's going to be long-term or anything like that, but don't hold your breath on it. It could be worse. My whole thing is this. The guy was hurt before the Four Nations. He came back for a couple of games. Then he plays in it. He has the biggest spark in the game, and everyone's like, woo, McAvoy's back. And now he could be out. And all the hopes about USA Canada, and now the USA team is hurt. Or they're not right. They went all out in that game versus Canada on Canadian soil. I just think about Charlie McAvoy in a nutshell. The guy is highly overpaid. There are some things he does that I don't know what he does that makes him so great. I don't think he's good on the power play at times. I think he gets beat on defense at times. There was a time where I thought he was very good. And I think that's when Chara left. You finally started to see him really elevate his game. In 2018, he was outstanding in that playoff run. No doubt about it. But for the most part, he's been average or above average. He's never been great. He has never been great. Has he been good? Yes. Now, I don't want to crush the guy because he's injured and can't play in a big game, but I care about the Bruins. I care about the second half. I want games here on 98.5 The Sports Hub to matter and count. The ratings matter to me, damn it. We need good games, but also I want good hockey. The Bruins haven't been right all year long. Defense has been their biggest issue. Giving up goals has been their biggest issue all year long. And now you find out that McAvoy could potentially miss time. I hate it. I'm not going to sit here and say he shouldn't have played. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, look what it sucks. It stinks. It stinks for the team. A team that has literally zero direction right now. Like this McAvoy thing. It's really going to impact the Bruins season. And I mentioned this game that is happening on Thursday night, by the way. It's a big boy. This is a big one. McAvoy won't be there for Team USA. Injured. Wish I could have more on it. The McAvoy thing, though, I'll tell you right now, it's disappointing. It's very disappointing. So we'll start it there at 617-779-0985. But the Bruins announced in a statement that McAvoy has been ruled out due to an issue related to an upper body injury sustained in the tournament. He was admitted to Mass General Hospital on Monday night to undergo testing related to an upper body injury sustained in the game. He's currently being evaluated by team physicians. He will not play for Team USA in the Four Nations Face-Off Championship game on Thursday night. Frank Saravalli for the Daily Face-Off mentioned that McAvoy was dealing with an infection that stemmed from a minor injury. Saravalli added that there's no long-term concern here. So no long-term concern. What does it mean for the Bruins? I'll be entertained by the game no matter what. The ratings were absolutely through the roof the other night. What are they going to be on Thursday night? What does this mean for the Bruins? I'll be rooting for Team USA. I think that with all the injuries they have going on and the fact that Team Canada coming off the win with revenge, all they have to do is win the game considering they lost. I lean that way. What does it mean for the Bruins? What does it mean for the Bruins? Also, we heard from Bregman today. We heard from Casas today. We heard from Devers yesterday. There's a lot of Red Sox stuff on the table, but just wanted to lean it in here. Bregman said this today on Rafael Devers. I think everybody here believes in their abilities. I think all of us believe that if we all put together a good effort this season, we have a really good chance of being a winning baseball team. I mean, there's a little bit of leadership here. To end the quote, I can only talk for myself, but I'll play wherever helps the team win. The number one issue with the Boston Red Sox has been leadership. They don't have leaders. For this guy to be willing to move over, do whatever helps the team win, it's leadership. They lack it big time, whether it's Duran, whether it's Casas, whether it's Devers, they lack leadership. I think they can be a really good team. I think they could be a playoff team this year. But man, we'll get into some of the quotes from some of the other teammates today. Really shows a lack of leadership. Just back to this McAvoy thing quickly. It is unfortunate that he's injured. Like, there's no doubt about it. His hit was impactful. It was big. It made an impact, and they won the game. And a few other guys were hurt, and they're going to play, the Kachucks, etc. This was going to be a whopper this week. You know, Brad Marchand will be in the building. Swayman also will be in the building. There's a lot there. But my only thing is this. When I think of the Bruins and their direction and what's next, isn't McAvoy a big part of it? I bring up leadership with the Red Sox. Do you think you get that from McAvoy? Do you feel like the Bruins have that at all? Like, here I am talking about the Red Sox and their issues in leadership. Can't you say the same thing about the Boston Bruins? We'll leave it there at 617-779-0985. It's got Skaz here tonight. We got our intern Josh here as well. Your calls as we're here until 10 o'clock tonight. It's a full show. I want to get your reaction, though, to the Charlie McAvoy injury and your thoughts on Team USA this week. We'll leave it there. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more.
98.5, the Sports Hub. See what's up to our people on YouTube. Our shows are on YouTube. I know so many people are used to the shows being on NBC Sports Boston, but we are on YouTube. We simulcast on the internet. So you can get us on your phone. You can get us really anywhere you want to get us. And we have a chat in there. So you can feel free to join the chat. I like to read. I like to read a lot of these. Number one, David says McAvoy missing games is good for the Bruins' future. Okay. Jay says he'll be there on center ice on Thursday night. We got more. McAvoy got dinged up. That's right. And I wish him the best in his health. And when you go to the hospital, it's something serious. So I don't want to make any light of it. I saw one earlier. I saw another one that I thought was pretty funny, but David says Charlie McAvoy is slightly a better Dougie Hamilton. Now, I won't go that far. But I do think that there have been some huge expectations regarding McAvoy. Has he lived up to them? I'm going to say no. Guy makes a lot of money. But he was great in that game the other night. I can't sit here and tell you he wasn't. He was very impactful. Had 5 hits in the game, one of the biggest in the game. Chuck Olson's in there tonight. The Brokerage Babe, what's going on? Dual Box is in there. Carrie Ann, Einbein. We got a lot of our regulars in there if you want to jump aboard on YouTube. And, of course, you can call in at 617-779-0985. Thursday night's going to be epic. I'm trying to think of a ticket in town that was this big. Maybe it was Tom Brady's return. Tampa Bay. That was a big one. But this is wild. It's going to be in Boston. I'm excited for this. I was at the Garden today. I was there this morning. Let's just say that you could tell there was a party last night when I got there. But there's a vibe about it. 4 Nations face-offs everywhere. You see all the star players out there. Again, I was there this morning, and you could tell that there's an electricity in the air regarding USA-Canada. It's legit. Again, I mentioned this last night, but you give me USA-Canada and bowling or pool, like I'm in. It could be anything. In on that. Mike Sullivan refused to give details on the timing of the injury that led to Charlie McAvoy being admitted to the hospital. He went on to say how disappointed he is for McAvoy, who is his son-in-law, by the way, for not being able to play in the championship game on Thursday. Now, I just saw this tweet, and I wanted to back it up, but other than being short a body, I don't think USA defense will miss him at all, says one of our Twitter followers. He played over his head last game, but not talented enough to duplicate it. I reiterate, he's the most overrated NHL player, and I wish him good health. I don't know if he's the most overrated player. Skaz?
Joe, did these people watch Saturday night? Do you not see the tweets around the league? Do you not see how the guys in the locker room talk about him? The guys here, Brady Tkachuk, super tough. We got to do whatever we can to get Brady Tkachuk. Who did Brady Tkachuk credit for that USA win?
McAvoy.
Charlie McAvoy. Mm-hmm. You see tweets from, I saw multiple people, Chicago media. There was guys like national guys, Biz, Anson Carter talked about it last night. What did Anson
Carter say about McAvoy last night?
He would be a huge loss if he's not out there, and that he thinks he's one of the elite defensemen in the league. I'm sorry, Twitter user, whatever your name is.
Elvis.
Is Charlie McAvoy overrated in this town? I would say no. I would say Charlie McAvoy is a very, very good, above average defensive defenseman who is limited offensively. That's who he is. Is he overpaid? Maybe, but you'd be a hell of a lot worse without him. So I think the Charlie McAvoy conversation has gotten a little out of hand. He was arguably, him and Jacob Slavin were the 2 best players on the ice for Team USA on Saturday night against Team Canada. I'd say that means you're pretty good at hockey. I don't know. Maybe that's a reach. So to say he's not going to duplicate it, okay, maybe he won't have, as good of a game.
And shots on net and all that. Yeah.
Guess what? Team USA is worse off without Charlie McAvoy. So that's a guy I'd like on my hockey team.
How about the Bruins?
Once again, the Boston Bruins are a worse hockey team without Charlie McAvoy. That shouldn't be a hot take. That shouldn't even be a take. That is fact. The Boston Bruins are a worse team without Charlie McAvoy.
Just to throw this at you, though, I think what you're saying is right, but it's like he's a big-time game performer. Like I said, that 2018 run, he was really good. He really, really was good.
You know why Charlie McAvoy doesn't look like he did on Saturday night for the Bruins a lot of the time? Because he can't. Because of the Bruins roster. Because of the guys he's playing with and around. They are not good enough for Charlie McAvoy to roam the ice and lay people out. Because Charlie McAvoy has to stay home and cover up the mistakes of the roster Don Sweeney has put together.
I will admit that I think he looks better in competitive hockey than he does with the Bruins. Right? You just mentioned it, Skaz. All across the country, everybody raves about Charlie McAvoy's game, but not people in Boston. People like me. I'll be honest with you. I'm one of these stirrers when it comes to him. I call him McAverage all the time. And I think he called me out for it once at a Pucks and Paddles event. I don't care. My point is that there are times when you watch the guy and he doesn't do enough. But as far as the accolades and what people say outside of the city, they all think he's great. Like, this is why I look at it and say, hey, man, maybe this guy's worth a lot more than I think he's worth in a trade. But I think you're on to something. He is making up and doing too much on the Bruins, where we can't see some of his greatest performance. Like, the other night, him flying around and running, he was awesome. We don't see it here, though. Well, I don't see it on a nightly basis. I'll at least admit that. And I'm a stir when it comes to him. No doubt about it. I'm one of those people who call him out. I call him McAverage. But yeah, I think he is trying to make up for a bunch of the flaws that the team has. And during this little stretch here before the break for the Four Nations, they were without Lindholm, right? They were without McAvoy. They went on a little stretch there where they showed a little something, but then would give up 6 goals. So as much as they might have saw something a little bit better, or maybe Lowry looked a little better on the power play over McAvoy, in the end, it's where he needs to be. What was one of the other big takeaways from the game? Could this be the spark that gets Charlie McAvoy over the hump? Now look. I'm not going to say that he shouldn't have played in the game. I'm not going to say that, these exhibition games are going to ruin the players. This is what happens when you play, right? Chance of getting hurt every time you get on the ice. But for the Bruins, it hurts. And just to back it up, Ottawa Senators defenseman Jake Sanderson, he stepped right in the other night in the loss to Sweden. He mentioned that Quinn Hughes, the reigning Norris Trophy winner, who was ruled out for the tournament with his own injury, now on his way to Boston to join the team. Canada will have, was it Cale Makar? And he didn't play the other night, right? Austin Matthews, Matthew Tkachuk, Brady Tkachuk, all expected to play in the game. They're all dealing. Brady Tkachuk left that game in the first period with a lower body injury. He didn't return. Team USA's hurting. They're down. I still think Canada is in a revenge spot and a chance to win on U.S. soil. I like Canada to win the game.
Yeah, and on the Quinn Hughes thing, he has not joined the team yet. He was at Canucks practice today. It was reported earlier, and Mike Sullivan said Quinn Hughes is coming, but he can't play unless someone else is ruled out. So he was at Canucks practice an hour ago wearing a non-contact jersey. So he has not joined the team yet.
So he's kind of like a taxi squad guy.
He's basically waiting to see if someone gets the flu before Thursday night.
Jeez. Overall, I think it's been a very successful tournament. It's been a win. Beating the NBA this weekend, having one of the highest ratings ever, which we'll get to those. This thing's a win. But you know who it's a loss for? McAvoy and the Bruins. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. Let's talk to John. He's in the van. Hey, John.
Yeah, so F Charlie McAvoy and anybody who's defending him. It's not Team USA that's paying him. It's the Boston Bruins. And when I go to a Boston Bruins game, I want to see him play like that the way he did for Team USA. Like, this is bull crap. I don't justify defending this.
Well, John, you know what? I want to hear more.
I pay money to go to the Bruins.
You do?
Why can't he play like that when I pay money to go see the Bruins?
John, I agree. Listen, I think Skaz makes a lot of points that he can't be the guy he wants on the Bruins because of their roster.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree with that. That guy was throwing his body all over the place the other night.
He was.
He doesn't do that when he pays for the Bruins.
You're right.
Who signs his paycheck.
That's right.
And when I go to the Bruins and I pay for a ticket, that's what I want to see. I don't want to see what I see when he plays for the Bruins. I want to see what he did for Team USA the other night. And now he's injured. You know? Now he's going to throw his body around and play hard. And, you know, what do we pay? Like the second highest ticket of all the NHL?
It's very expensive.
But
those jumbo
that's
home cooked
garbage.
meatballs. It is garbage, John.
Yeah, jumbo home cooked meatball.
You're right. No, you're right, John. You're making some points. I don't agree with all of them, but you're making some points. Thank you.
All
right, cool. I needed that.
Yeah, I would say blame Don Sweeney. Would be my reasoning there. If you want to see that, Charlie McAvoy, surround him with better talent. Maybe then he'll feel like he can, vacate his zone every once in a while and make a run at somebody.
I was waiting for that. You know why? Let's just use another sport, right? Guys, the other night, McAvoy, the impact that McAvoy's had on a game, we haven't seen that this year from the Bruins. We haven't. So, as a fan, the man in the van down by the river, he makes a lot of good points. I feel the same way he does, but I'm fair. If I'm anything, I'm very fair. What are you going to tell a guy not to play for Team USA? Hey, man, you just got an injury. You're just off an injury, man. I don't know. I don't think you should be playing in that tournament, man.
Yeah, if Charlie McAvoy's playing how he did on Saturday night for the Bruins, how many games a year do you think he's going to play?
Good point. He already was injured going. He's got a brutal shoulder to begin with, right? Does he already have a hurt shoulder?
Don't think he's going to be out there every night if that's what he looks like.
For real, actually. Him being on the ice alone is you would think pretty good for the Bruins. No, if he plays like that, there's no way. He's too small. He's too small. Wow, here we go. Another size conversation on the show. The size always gets brought up. He can't play that way for 82 games. He can't.
No one can.
Nobody can. You're right. I don't want to trash McAvoy here. It sucks for the Bruins. It sucks for you, the fan. Yes, you wish he did play like that every night. He can't. He can't. But the leadership thing? Like, is he the next captain? When Marchand moves on or they move on from him or whatever, is McAvoy the next captain? Probably. Is he a leader? I don't know. I really don't. All I can tell you is people around the league. Again, we had Anson Carter on last night, raved about this guy. Literally raved about him. I don't know why I don't feel the same way. But I do think it's impossible for him to play like that for a full season. We got Ryan and Lowell. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, how you doing, Joe?
Hey.
I just have a question for Skaz. He says that McAvoy can't play like that because of his roster. But wasn't it last year or the year before they scored the most points in the league and they had a great team, and he still didn't play like that? Why didn't he play like that?
You didn't think Charlie McAvoy was good last year?
No. He wasn't playing like this even when they had the best team in the league.
I don't know what you mean like this.
He's overrated. Like he played in the game the other night where he hurt himself.
Yep.
He's not throwing his body around. Last year, he's had 7 years, and he doesn't play like that. He plays like that occasionally in the playoffs, and that's it.
I think in 18 he played to his potential, but they were a great team.
He was with Chara, wasn't he?
Was that the 18 year with Chara? Yeah. Thanks, Ryan. Old friend JT checking in. Skaz is right. You're wrong. All the players love him. His team and all the teams. He's the next captain. Skaz is right. You're wrong. All right, well, okay, we'll just leave it at that then. McAvoy's great. Everyone else who's pissed about him not playing like this constantly, we're wrong. No, it is the fact, though, the team isn't good enough. He does try to do too much, and he has to. And maybe that's where the leadership comes in, right? Maybe that's him trying to take on the load that he shouldn't. McAvoy talk, huh? Love this. Mo in Milford. What up, Mo?
Hey, what's going on, Joe?
Yo.
Hey, you got to look. I've been taking a positive take on the Charlie McAvoy thing. Bruins made the announcement you can put Charlie McAvoy in a long-term IR, free up that $9.5 million in cap space, and make some moves at the trade deadline.
Mo money, baby. Mo money. Now you're talking, bro.
This could be Don Sweeney's last chance to do something, and I say take advantage of that opportunity.
Loopholes in the salary cap. Yeah. This is where we're at with the Bruins, everybody. This is where we're at now. We're looking for a loophole to circumvent the salary cap now in the $9 million, and now they're going to go for it. Yeah. Oh, it's diabolical. I love it. It's Don Sweeney's last try. It's his last try. He just got $10 million more. Wow, it could be true, though. I don't know. I don't want to speculate on the health thing. Let me ask you this. Do you think it happened on the hits cast? Do you think it happened in the game?
It almost sounded like it was something afterwards, where it was an infection or something that may have shown up afterwards. So I don't know if it was.
I don't know either.
It seemed like it came the next day or even 2 days. It was last night after we got off the air.
Yeah, I don't want to be insensitive to someone that's in the hospital about the guy's doing his job and has he's in the hospital for it. I think it is fair for some of you fans who pay for it to have your opinion that you wish he played like that every night. I don't think he can physically. Do I think he's been average at times? Absolutely. The roster is a big issue. When he's playing with the star players in the league, he stands out, right? Maybe that's where the leadership is coming in. I do want to get into some of this Casas stuff, but Charles is in Connecticut. He wants to get in on it. What's up, Charles?
Hey, guys. Enjoy the hockey talk, but I'll tell you what. To me, Tristan Casas is still a damn rookie, and he's got the biggest mouth I've ever seen. Last season, when the Red Sox mic'd him in the dugout, it was brutal to listen to. Especially, I forget the player he went up to after the guy struck out. He goes up there and he starts talking to this guy. I'm surprised the Red Sox player didn't just punch him. And that he's a rookie who's been off injured, and he has a comment about a third baseman. Give me a break. Somebody should tell Casas to shut the heck up.
Man, he's really triggered a lot of people, huh? Casas? Man, it's funny, but I'm 42, Skaz, you're in your 30s, right? I don't want him speaking. And we'll let you hear what he said coming up here on the other side, but this is a new. We're dealing with some Gen Zs, everybody. I was telling you guys there are some things I don't understand about the Gen. I don't get it. I'm a first-year millennial. I live on the Gen X side of life. I don't understand some of the youngins.
You're giving him too much credit, Joe. This is not an age thing. Don't do the he's young and he's raised in this generation.
Because I used to do that. Yeah, this was stupid.
This is nothing to do with that.
This was dumb.
Yeah,
this was dumb.
Plenty of guys in sports younger than him show much more leadership
or swag.
Don't give him the excuse.
Yep. I don't know. You know what, guys? That's the problem. I had to give him the excuse because he's different. He does things different in the field. But his pregame warm-ups are different. He's just a different type of player. You're right. Wasn't that the defense mechanism for Casas? Hey, you just don't understand him. He's this different guy. I've tried to live on that side of the street for him. I've tried. So you're right. I've been a Casas defender. Maybe the Milliken militia has been all over me. Right? I'm a fan of the Milliken militia. Today was stupid. We'll let you hear the audio coming up on the other side. I'm Joe Mario. Let's get to the headlines here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy.
Everybody knows Joe.
Just keeps getting better.
Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
I think it's Rafi Devers' position. I think he's the third baseman, and at that point, that's where it stands. And he's done it for a really long time now. And I think he's only getting better at that position. I think his defense is getting better every single year. We don't know what the future holds, but we know it holds Rafi Devers. So I think he's got to play defense. It's going to keep him athletic, and he's going to hit because of him being at third base. He doesn't know any other position. He doesn't want to play any other position, and he's going to fight for it, even if it's with any of the younger guys, any new guy. I think he's the best third baseman in the league. I wouldn't take him. I wouldn't take anybody over him. So I think he should play third base. Yeah.
So you think Bregman should play second? Rafi plays third.
I think Bregman should play second base. Yeah. I think he's going to make the transition well. I think he's athletic enough to, and I think Trevor, is going to play an awesome shortstop.
Boston's play at third base. Why? Why? I don't know. Leadership. I'll say it again. Leadership. Do I think he was trying to back his guy? Yep. Do I think that he was just answering a question? I do. Devers has made it clear that he would not give up his position. That's my position, he said through an interpreter. It's what I play. I don't know what their plans are. We had a conversation. I made it clear. Well, Tristan Casas, the young first baseman that they tried to trade this offseason that nobody wanted, says, I think it's Rafi Devers' position. I think he's the third baseman at that point. That's where it stands. So he made it pretty clear who the third baseman should be and that Bregman should be at second. He also said Devers is the best third baseman in baseball. Now we know you're lying. Liar. I think he's the best third baseman in the league, Casas added. I wouldn't take anyone over him. Now, in a way, I support this guy. Like, I know what Casas was trying to do. It's just a lie. It was not in jest. It was terrible. He was pressed on it. Should he play second base? Yeah. Many players were asked about this. Like, it's going to be interesting. Here's what you do. Do I need to now be media coach Joe? Is that what I got to do now, Skaz? I got to be media coach Joe?
Certainly seems like the Boston Red Sox could use some media training.
Media coach Joe, ready? Hey, Cass, what do you think? Who do you think is third base? Well, listen, I don't get paid to make those decisions. I'm worried about playing first base this year. We have great people who make these decisions. We have great players who I hope we get everyone on the team this year and we really compete for a playoff spot. Done. That's it. Instead, that's my guy. Best third baseman in the league. Bregman should play second. This is what I think. This is why I was going Gen Z, Skaz. And I don't understand. Why does your opinion matter? There's a manager, there's a GM, there's ownership, there's Theo, there's... What? All off season, you did not get a contract extension. Do you know why you're not getting a contract extension? There's no leadership from you. There's none. No leadership. They tried to trade him multiple times this offseason. Nobody wanted him. People have compared Casas to be better than others. Vladimir Guerrero. I'll get into that coming up in a little bit. But the leadership is the problem. I don't even want to just blame Casas here. I think Duran last year had leadership issues. I think there's just a problem on that team. Rafael Devers says, ownership, what we need? We need better talent. All right, cool. We're going to bring in Bregman, a gold glove third baseman. Well, it affects me, so no, I'm not moving. Like, you ask, they give, you don't move. But yet, the guy who's won championships, I know Devers has, but Bregman says, willingly, I'll move to second base. Willingly, I'll just move to second base. Makes me wonder if there's an ulterior motive here. Ulterior motive for Tristan Casas. Why is he backing Devers? Why is he backing Bregman? Why were they trying to move Casas all offseason? Because they have a ton of young prospects coming up with position versatility. It almost makes Casas, who's looking for a new long-term contract, expendable at some point. He hasn't lived up to the expectation yet. Maybe there's a reason why. So, do I get on him about backing his guy? No, I don't. But opening his mouth in general was the problem here. Not doing what was best for the team was the problem here. Not being a leader was the problem here. So I said ulterior motive. Skaz, I know we have another clip here, but Casas not only pressed about who should be third base and second base, but how about some of these young kids? Let's hear about this.
You talked about wanting Raffy at third, wanting Bregman at second. Otherwise on the roster, if you're running the team, would you have Campbell, Anthony, and Meyer on the opening day roster?
No. I think we got some grown men up there right now that need to iron some things out. We need to show up and see what that first little taste of us all together looks like. I think their time is going to come, and it could be earlier rather than later. But I think for right now, the roster is beautiful. It's organized. It's great, and it's structured really well.
He's afraid of the kids. If Devers plays third, Bregman plays second, Casas plays first, he has some security scares, right? They want Campbell to be the second baseman, but the service time issue. Like they tried to move this guy. Why did nobody want him? Is it because of his, personality? Going on a long-term contract with a guy that hasn't lived up to the expectations, who doesn't play a great first base, who is a little odd?
Is Tristan Casas an established MLB player?
Absolutely not.
How old is Tristan Casas?
Well, he was born in 2000, so would that be 25?
He's 25, Joe.
How old's Drake May, by the way, just across sports?
I think he's like 21 or something.
2 years younger.
But some of these prospects...
But he handles his pretty well, right?
Pretty well, Joe. But let's say Marcelo Mayer. How old do you think he is?
I'm going to say 22.
If you're a 22-year-old, number one overall pick type prospect, how do you feel about your 25-year-old coworker who's done absolutely nothing in his career, saying, "Hey, why don't you stay in the minors a little longer?"
Yeah, probably doesn't like that. Hey man, we built a great team, and next man up, we're ready to go.
How about I want the best guys possible to play for the Boston Red Sox? Yep. How about I don't care their age, how long they've been here, none of that. Tristan Casas should not be like. First of all, he shouldn't say anything. He should be saying, "Not my decisions." That's on Cora and Breslow, those guys, to determine the best possible team. I'll play wherever they ask.
Yep, I agree with that. I agree. I don't know why. Is this trying to be a leader? Yeah, some guys.
You say he's worried about the kids, Joe?
Yeah.
What if he's worried about Rafael Devers at first base? Because Campbell's
too short, in my opinion. But go ahead. I got you. I'm going with it. What if it's Roman Anthony? What if it's somebody else? What if it's Marcelo Mayer? What if somebody else can play first base in the system? I don't think Casas has done anything to define himself as a guy that should be speaking on the team. Do you know who their last leader was? Kiki Hernandez tried, right? Hey, there's my LinkedIn. Go check it out. Didn't go over well. Like these non-established guys that are making comments, it doesn't work in this town. It doesn't work. Leadership's a problem here. Like, I got on McAvoy. He gets paid a lot of money. He doesn't say these things, though. Doesn't do those things. Like, Casas, I think he was trying to defend his guy, but at the same time, I think he's worried about his job. You're right. Comments on why the guy should be playing and why veteran players should be here and the team that was built and not trying to put over some of the young prospects? Huh. Sounds like there might be a little bit of a disconnect. And I like it. Right? Isn't this good? Young players versus veterans? Yes. This is what this team needs. They need to find a leader, not force a leader. What Cassis did today, he probably looks at it as someone trying to take the next step to be a leader. It failed. This hour of the Sports Hub brought to you by our good friends over at Valvoline and Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit newenglandoilchange.com for 15% off your next drive through oil change. At Valvoline and Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. I see you guys lined up on the phone lines. Tristan Casas, people want to talk about it. Also, Alex Cora today. Well, he commented on some things too. We'll give you that coming up here on the other side. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
championship game on Thursday night. Red Sox training camp continued today. The team signed reliever Adam Ottavino to a minor league contract. The Blue Jays and Vlad Guerrero missed the deadline on a contract extension, and while Andy Dalton's back in the league, re-signed with the Carolina Panthers. Headlines are brought to you by Awaken Winity Weight Loss with a 98% customer satisfaction rating and thousands of 5-star reviews. The choice is clear. AwakenWinityWeightLoss.com. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update in 30 minutes.
This is Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown turns the corner. Finger roll is up and good. Scoring the foul.
Listen to home of the Boston Celtics, 98.5, the Sports Hub.
He was asked if you insist he DHs, and he said no. And he stopped short of saying he would want to be traded. He said he'd have to think about that. But when the word insist was used, he still said no. So what does that mean?
Conversations. I think that's how it works, right? And it's too early right now to say that Rafi's going to be a DH or he's going to play third base, that Alex is going to be a second baseman, he's going to play third base. There's competition here, and I think flexibility and versatility is huge for us. We got some talented guys, and we're going to take the best roster, going to Texas. And there's going to be competitions, and dictated on who wins it or who doesn't, whatever, we're going to make decisions for the lineup.
What I do like is there's competition. Like Devers wants third base. I like that. Bregman says he's willing to play anywhere and help the team. That's leadership. I like that. Cassis, though? On paper, he wanted to defend his guy. On paper, he likes the team. Like all that. But you heard the words, right? Like he said them. He said them. It's almost out of touch. I think Rafael Devers is the best third baseman in the league. Do you know the numbers, bro? In a way, I want to ask this question. Guys, I wanted to bring this up because we have tons of phone calls. We'll get to them in a second. And we got Smitty on baseball who broke a lot of this stuff from Mass Live coming up. Guys, I haven't seen you this motivated to talk about an issue in a long time. You're hot on this Cassis thing.
I just think it's coming from the wrong place. He's not the right messenger. It's not his decision to make. I don't care about his opinion. Do you care about Tristan Cassis' opinion on this?
I don't, but you did see the trailer for the documentary that's coming out, right?
Oh, on last year's wonderful season.
Who did they highlight in that trailer?
Not a lot of options, Joe, I would say.
But it was Cassis. I think he can be a player, man. I do. But will he put himself in the way of that? What's his story? Like, there's got to be like something to him that makes him this way, right? Like, there's a lot of, hey, listen, Kurt Schilling, you want to talk about him early on in his career, super, super immature. And I don't want to compare, Cassis to that. It was a different era. I think we are at a different era of baseball. We are. The game is different. They come up differently. They play. A lot of these guys play together in, Cape Cod leagues and certain minor leagues and et cetera. All-star games, futures games, you name it. Cassis has been a prospect for years, right? I go back to the old days. Remember a guy named Lars Anderson for the Red Sox? It was the name of a park in Brookline, but I heard about this guy forever. Never lived up to the hype. Cassis I've heard about forever. Has he lived up to the hype? No. Is there some potential there? Yes. Is he a guy that you would like to see break through and hit 30 home runs? Absolutely. But this, talking out of school, the messaging, you're right. The messaging's bad. Coming from him, it's bad. It's just, it doesn't sound genuine. It sounds like he's in fear of his job. And I wanted to get to this segment, and I want to take your calls as well, but this Vlad Guerrero thing, I wonder if it's I mentioned the prospects that maybe he's thinking about. What about this Vlad Guerrero thing that's out there? The Blue Jays and Guerrero did not come to an extension today. He's told his friends when he hits free agency he'd love to play for the Red Sox. 8.5 months from now, Guerrero will officially enter spring with he'll be a free agent. No extension here. And I have the betting odds. Vlad Guerrero's next team. Boston Red Sox are the favorites, 3-1. Followed by the Braves, Astros, Phillies, Cubs, Dodgers. Of course the Dodgers are on there, right? Red Sox are the favorite to land Vladimir Guerrero next team. So whether that happens in season, trade deadline, he's the favorite to land there next year. Funny how both their contracts are in the same situation, huh? He might be looking over his shoulder a little bit. That's why he doesn't want to see any changes. Go to the phones to you at 617-779-0985. Nick is in New Hampshire. Hey, Nick.
Hey, what's up, Joe? Love the show.
Thanks, dude.
Everything you guys say is spot on tonight. The one thing I question, especially with Devers, with Shohei, when things aren't going well, I find it interesting their English seems to subside unless it's a question that they immediately want to answer. His no was so fast. Why do they hide behind not knowing English, but yet they do? Any thoughts on that?
So that one, just to be clear, I think he was asked multiple questions, and he might have been. I don't think he's hiding behind it, Nick. I'll say it that I don't think he's hiding behind it. But there was one question where I think it was Dan Shaughnessy that asked, "Hey, would you be willing to change?" And he said no. And he goes, "Do we need to translate that?" So I don't think he hid behind it. I really don't.
Well, I love it. I think the roster is way better with him at DH, like you guys said, and I hope AC finds a way to make that happen because we got a shot. Finally, we got something to be excited about.
Yeah.
We got Red Sox news, baby. I love it.
Yeah, it's not a bad problem to have, right? Bunch of good players trying to play a certain position. This defense has been porous, and it's spearheaded by Tristan Casas. And Rafael Devers right at the top. Jesse's in Groton. Hey, Jesse.
Hey, guys. I 100% think that Casas' comments are spurning from he's just shaking his boots about the fact that Devers could get moved to first. The roster configuration's up in the air. Vladdy's, hitting free agency next season. Personally, though, I'm hoping that Casas has a fantastic year so that we can trade him. If they are that interested in Vladdy, I'd love to see him come to Boston. I don't think he's going to cost as much as Soto, and I think if the Sox were willing to put out that much money for Soto, they can certainly go and get Vladdy if we're entering this new era. So I personally feel like it would be in everyone's best interest if Casas comes out, stays healthy for the most part, has a good enough year where he can trade him for pitching per se or a prospect, and then go and pursue Vladdy next season. But I think his comments 100% are just because he's shaking his boots and he's scared about his position stability. So thanks.
Glad you feel the same way we do. Those comments aren't it is a wrong message, and yeah, I think he's a little curious about what's next. I don't know if Devers can play first. I really don't. I think he's too short. That's my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean I'm right. But I do think he's too short. David's in Florida. Hey, David.
Oh. Good evening.
How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm working.
We are on the way to Fort Myers right now. We are passing through the boondocks of Florida.
Oh, there's a Red Lobster down the road. You got to get those cheddar biscuits.
We are in the boondocks. There's cotton fields and horses and cows and all kinds of animals. We are in the boondocks.
Interesting.
So, anyways, though, Devers, I've been complaining about him for about 3 or 4 years now. He's just a bum as far as I'm concerned. At his best, he's a one-dimensional player. At his worst, he's a bum. And the Red Sox, if they would be smart, they would package him and Casas to the Expos and get Vladimir, like you're saying, and then.
I thought that was going to be serious. Is that what we're going to do, people? Is that what we're going to do tonight? You want to do that? We have some meat on the bone when it comes to actual sports talk in the Red Sox, and you want to do that? Be better. Oh, I don't want to use that line. Can you do better than that? That was bad. I don't like those calls. Justin, help us out, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, it's going good, Joe. I have some comments as well. I don't think those comments should be coming from Christian Cousins. I think it sends the wrong message to the team, and those comments should be coming from management, not Christian Cousins. And I don't think management should be allowing him to make those type of comments. And I just wanted your thoughts on it, Joe.
Well, Justin, do you think that the team has talked to Casas about what to say and what not to say?
Yeah, I mean, I listened to this. I listened to the comments, and I just feel like these type of comments should come from management themselves and the players. I understand he wants to protect Devers, but he doesn't need to make a decision on where Bregman play. He says Bregman should play second base. Like, you can't make that determination. That's up to management to say that. Yeah. And that's how I feel about it, Joe.
Thank you, Justin. Appreciate you, buddy. Here's the deal. You work for the Red Sox. They tell you what to do, you do it. Like, I don't know. Call me old school, but it's kind of the way things go. The Casas stuff is irritating because he has a lot of potential and he hasn't lived up to it. And for him to talk like he is one of these guys that's a proven player in the league, it's laughable. I think he's trying to show leadership. It just didn't come from the right place. Didn't come from the right place. But yeah, it sounds like a guy shaking in his boots about the future. Dude, I'm curious now if this Netflix thing's going to make me want to vomit watching Casas. Or am I going to get behind him? You know who's a big Casas guy? Tyler Milliken. Big Casas guy. So I'm actually, I don't think I've heard Milliken yet on this. Have you?
No, he will be back tomorrow.
Okay.
So anxiously awaiting.
The only thing I would like to say this about Tyler. He has a take and then he gets like ambushed by the show. So he's always in the defensive. I would actually like to just let him go. Like, let him go. Let him defend this one. I don't want to kill Casas for this, but I think it's a really bad look. He's unproven. Who are some of who are some other guys? I mentioned Kiki Hernandez. But, haven't there been other guys who've tried to, be the leader, but it just didn't hit? Who was it this year?
Adrian Gonzalez?
Oh, that was no, on the Patriots this year. What, I know Jonathan Jones was trying, it just didn't hit. I know there was guys.
I think people expected Juwan Bentley, and then things went a little sideways there.
There's just a lot of guys that are trying to be the leader, but the message doesn't come out right. I think that's what we have here. I don't want to defend him. I really don't. But it came from an odd place. And saying that Rafael Devers is the best third baseman in the league, that's just, that's crazy talk. That's what I call it. All right, we're here all night, guys. We're here until 10 o'clock tonight. We're going to talk to our next guest. His name is Christopher Smith. We call him Smitty. He's Smitty on baseball. And we'll hear from him. He's live at Fort Myers. We'll talk to him next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray.
Baseball, works over at Mass Live. Smitty, how you doing tonight, my man?
What's up? What's up? How you doing?
Well, where do we start? Do we start Devers? What was the vibe today after yesterday? Did you know if there was any conversations that were had? What was the scoop from yesterday, Devers saying no to today?
Yeah, so, after Devers, obviously, was asked several times yesterday if he would DH, if he would play first base, if he would play anything besides third base. He said that he would refuse. So it's, it was a kind of a crazy press conference, right? Like a crazy media scrum, one of the more crazy ones I've been to. And, I've been covering this team since 2010. To refute, like, so what is he going to do? Is he not going to play? If they tell him he's the DH, is he going to sit on the bench? And so, there were even questions about whether, at this point he could, he would want to trade. And, he wasn't going to go that far, but it was just an interesting day yesterday. And, some of the old school Red Sox stuff, right? We've got them actually signing a player, Alex Bregman. So they're spending some money. They're getting a better roster, and there's controversy within the clubhouse and stuff like that. And so they actually went to Alex Core's house for a get-together last night. Devers was there. Bregman was there. Apparently, Core said they were talking together for 45 minutes. I don't think that Devers necessarily, you look at it, obviously Devers likes the fact that they added to the roster. He wants Bregman to play second base, though. So I don't think he necessarily doesn't like the signing. He just wants the things to go the way that, he wants them to go and, to play second base. So they have talked. They have been cordial. Apparently they have even talked about defense, I heard. Bregman was showing him a few tips on the field in terms of defense. And so, it's interesting, but this puts, Bregman in a difficult spot. And I think that what really it comes down to is Christian Gamble. Okay, if he shows that he can make the opening day roster and he's ready to make the team, that's he's going to play second. Bregman will play third, and Devers will DH.
So, what are you seeing right now? Obviously, it was Bregman still taking ground balls at third. I know that Campbell has been only at second base, but does the defense look improved now with Bregman in there? Just from what you've seen, does it look like a better defense?
Yeah, I think that they're going to be. They were terrible they were terrible in the infield last year, obviously, and I think that I would actually agree that Bregman should play second because I think that position is more important than third base. I think it would be a dynamic duo of Trevor Story, who's an above average shortstop playing, the double play combo with Alex Bregman, who, Alex Core said in January, before they signed him, had Gold Glove potential at second. And he thought that since, he was his bench coach in 2017 with the Astros. But Jose Altuve was at that position for Houston. So, you look at it, and that could be a really dynamic, duo up the middle. It's, up the middle defense is just so important. We talk about catcher, center field, shortstop, and catcher, center field, shortstop, and second base. The problem is, too, though, is, Trevor Story's got to stay healthy. He hasn't done that in 2 years. So, we could be talking about those two being a dynamic duo, and then Trevor Story could get injured. So we'll see. But, Devers statistically is not good at third base. And so it shouldn't be something where he just says, he's playing third base or else, because he just hasn't been good there. -9 defensive run save last year. And right. -62 for his career.
Wow. Have you? What do you think about the stats of Devers as a DH? He hasn't done it much, but do you think he can do it?
I actually haven't even looked at what his stats are as a DH, but I know that, I think that, JD Martinez wasn't too fond of the idea of just DHing when he signed with the Red Sox in 2018. And, it's so, he had said that he was better when he was in the field hitting wise. And so, people say that they're more engaged in the field and that gets them ready. However, JD Martinez ended up getting a extremely good routine, during games where he was in the batting cage, for, a lot of time while he didn't have his when he wasn't up to the plate for his 4 times, and he became a great DH. So I don't think we can look at numbers of how Devers has fared in the past. I think that once it's important that if he becomes the DH, then, he establishes a routine, and, I don't see how it could be, how he wouldn't hit there. Tristan Casas today said, something like he's got to play defense to get going. Well, David Ortiz did a fine job, of DHing without defense. So I think that, his strength is hitting. He would figure it out.
All right, talking with Christopher Smith. He's Smitty on MLB on Twitter. You can check him out there. You just mentioned Tristan Casas. It seems to be the leadoff take here on the show. He had comments today. Says that Devers should play third. Bregman should play second. Also said that the veterans should play and the minor leaguers should stay down. Does this sound like a guy that's came from a bad place? I don't know. It sounds like a guy that might be shaking in his boots about what's behind him there.
I think it's more of Tristan Casas saying whatever comes to his mind and being okay with it. And I think that might have ruffled some feathers. Last year, I think there was that, whole thing where he felt like, he said like it felt like when he was on his rehab assignment, it felt like a knife getting stabbed when he swung a bat. And it's like, Cora the next day is like, we're not on the same page here. He can't be saying that because, we think he's healthy. And so, Casas has had a history here in the last 2 to 3 years of saying, things that kind of get you to drop you. I mean, I was surprised. It's like, he probably should have just said whatever's best for the team. However, as a reporter, I love it. That's what we want to hear. But, I think that, he has his opinions, but yes, there was the fact that throughout the offseason, there was trade rumors involving him. And there wasn't just the question of, Devers, the Red Sox, either trading for Nolan Arenado or signing Alex Bregman and Devers moving to DH. There was the thought that they could trade Casas for a starting pitcher and that Devers would move to first base. And so, yes, I think that, he is involved in all of this. And I don't think that necessarily he thinks that the younger guy shouldn't be up because, he feels pressure or whatever himself. I just think he's bluntly saying that he'd like to see like Trevor Story be healthy. He'd like to see Bregman on the team. And, he'd like to see him with his improved defense that, he worked on his flexibility and everything this offseason and, getting the balls and stuff like that. And he would like to see like the older guys establish something. Whereas last year, I was thinking today, like, they talk about a leader last year, like Jarren Duran was looked at the leader. I mean, you look at, Casas and Story were on the IL for much of the year, and there really wasn't anybody. So now they do have some guys that can step up, like, Story and Bregman, who are leaders. I think he just wants to see what's all that is. But, he isn't the GM of the team. So he probably should have had more of a comment of like, we'll see. Those kids are great. We'll see. And, if they make the team, that'd be great.
All right, Smitty. So you mentioned last night that the players went to Alex Cora's house.
Yes.
And there was a lot of discussion. Do you think that Cora, management, maybe have spoken to Casas about what he should say and what he shouldn't be saying? I mean, it's not typical for a player to speak like this. So I'm curious if they've spoken to him. Do you think they have? Do you think they will now after this?
I mean, I think that's one of the reasons that you could, hear him in trade rumors. I mean, he's a very talented player. He has 35 home run potential. He's got great plate discipline, swing, decisions and high on base percentage, there is a concern there with injuries. I mean, he did have some injuries in the minors that kept him out some time. And obviously it took a long time for him to get back last year. When he initially was, and that's another thing, like the Red Sox weren't happy from inside that, he was telling reporters like, I'm going to be back July 1st. And then, July 1st comes and he's not doing anything. He kept making timetables. He kept saying dates, and they wanted him to sit back and be like, just be ready when he's ready. And so I think that they weren't particularly happy with, some of the things that he was, saying last year. As I said, that whole comment about, getting stabbed or whatever, when he swung a bat, that didn't go over hot with them. And so that's probably why you heard some of those trade conversations in the off season instead of extension, conversations. And too, he had he was out for most of the year, so he wouldn't get any extension after last year. Or he wouldn't even want to try to talk about that. But I think that's why you're hearing that.
Yeah, I don't know. Today, listen, I last week my take was, things are going really well this year for the Red Sox, and there's no issues. And now it's who's going to play third base, and is there an issue here? And is Casas a leader? I didn't think that a week ago, and here I am now wondering about leadership on the team.
Yeah,
maybe Bregman's the guy, right?
Yeah, I think both Bregman and Story. Story is somebody that's always stood by his locker when he's been healthy. He's always talked, for teammates. He hasn't, there was one incident, like at the beginning, where he didn't know the media wanted to talk to him after one game, that he didn't play well, and he went out the door. And the next day he said, sorry guys, I'll be here in front of my locker. I didn't, I wasn't trying to duck you guys. So I think he'll be extremely important. It's important he stays healthy because he can be a leader. And Bregman obviously shows, it showed that he can be a leader in Houston. That's probably a big reason that Alex Cora wanted him here. I mean, Alex Cora was pushing all off season for him. And so, and he showed it today. Obviously, when you sign with the Red Sox, it's going to be a different situation with him and Devers anyway. They talk about that when he's signing. Are you willing to play second or third? Whatever. He knew that coming in, so it shouldn't be a problem with him whether he plays second or third. He should be willing to play whatever because he's already talked to them about it. Whereas they didn't communicate with the third base position in DH to Rafael Devers until 2 days after they signed Bregman. So, I can understand why the two players have went about things differently when they spoke with the media. However, Devers needs to, start thinking in terms of the team. And Bregman is, I feel like he's going to be a leader that media can go to. Because as I said last year, a lot of it was going on like Duran, and he's very young. And they kept building him up as the leader. Well, now we have some people that will stand in the front of the locker and talk when things are tough, in like Bregman and Story, that are older guys, older veterans.
All right, how did Garrett Crochet look today?
Yeah, he looked really good. Actually, struck like everybody out except for, Trevor Story went deep against him. But, he was up to 99, nasty stuff. I saw, something, one of these baseball savant or StatCast things that came out with, like, he had just the nastiest pure stuff last year of any pitcher. And so, it should be exciting that, for the Red Sox, that they have a young pitcher who's, just recently had Tommy John surgery. So that shouldn't be a worry, right? Him getting, he's recovered from it. He's had it now. And, it always could happen. It always could pop up. But, usually, you have kind of a new arm after that. So, he should be able to build up more innings this year, and he could be a real, he'll be an extremely important part of getting them to the playoffs if they get there.
All right, Smitty, how's the living situation going in Florida with McAdam and Cotillo?
Oh, they're great. They're out right now at trivia. I told them could care less. Probably the worst thing ever is trivia. I'm not a big fan of it. So I am home. I am back at the condo writing, or the back of the house writing instead. So
What do you think their team name would be?
I think they actually are either. Yeah, well, actually, I think they're going to meet some other Red Sox writers there. I know Ian Brown will be there. I know Jim McCaffrey. But they also are going to, I believe, they're going to team up with some of the Twins writers as well. I just don't have any of that type of knowledge. I could watch Jeopardy for a year straight, and I wouldn't get one answer. So I just have no interest in sitting there for 3 hours and not knowing anything.
Well, I appreciate you checking back home, right? I mean, you're away from home, so at least coming on the Boston Sports Radio station.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even tell my parents though I was coming on. They would be listening. So
maybe we'll
you'll
go
have
viral.
the podcast though, right?
Yes, it will be on YouTube and on 985sportsup.com.
All right, I'll tell them to listen to that.
You know, I like that your parents listen when you come on, huh?
They love it. They get mad when I don't tell them.
Nice. Well, have you? Now I got a question. Have you ever been to Waffle House?
I have not, and it's right down the street though.
Yes.
It's right on. Yes. So I will try to get there. How about that?
Like I said, there's a Red Lobster down the street as well.
Yeah, you know what? We've been to the Red Lobster, me and Cotillo.
Oh, those cheddar! I told him about it the other night with the cheddar biscuits.
So he has a shellfish allergy or whatever. But I believe that we went there once because we got down in a flight to Fort Myers a couple of years back, and the house wasn't ready yet, and so we went out to dinner or we went out to lunch or whatever, and I think it was there, and he just ate regular steak or something because he has this shellfish allergy.
Yeah, I went to Sanibel and Captiva and went right by the park one day, and the Waffle House there, oh baby.
Yeah, there's a lot of good places around.
It's a nice little spot to be. It's 16 degrees here in Boston, just so you know.
I know. I got some text from my wife about how she's freezing her butt off today. So I said, I went with it's too hot here. That probably shouldn't have.
Oh. Well, hey, it's getting hot. It's getting hot at Red Sox camp, man. Keep up the good
Exactly.
work.
That's what we like to see, right? We don't want boring.
No, we're not. We don't. It's not going to be boring this year, and there's a lot to talk about here. Appreciate your coverage, Chris. Appreciate you joining us here on the Sports Hub. Enjoy the rest of your time in Florida, and we'll catch up during the season, my man.
All right, sounds good. Have a good night.
You got it. It's Smitty on baseball. Christopher Smith joining us here on 98.5 The Sports. So what do you think the team name would be, Skaz? McTillo? UNC fans? I don't know. I'm like trying to think of. Oh, it could be No Smitty. Hey, Skaz, if we had to go cover a team, would you want to be my roommate?
How long we down there, Joe?
Oh, wow.
I'm not a big roommates guy,
I'm not
Joe.
a big roommate guy either, but you know what, though? I stay in my room.
Yeah, I think we'd be fine.
I'd stay in my room.
Just do our own thing.
Yeah.
Grab a meal together every once in a while.
But no, really, what I would do is I would keep the TV on. I'm like, what do you want to watch?
Yeah.
And I would look to get Shawshanked.
I'd say, Joe, what do we got tonight?
Yeah, I know. What's on the tube? Actually, we got college basketball tonight, right?
Yeah, UConn.
When's that on?
Not so great.
It's not going well.
They're trailing to. They're down 34-26. Start of the second half.
They're a second half team, even though they lost to Seton Hall the other night, who stinks.
Yeah, not good.
UConn's not good. Imagine Dan Hurley turned down the Lakers job for this.
Would you rather be coaching Luka
or Duke? Dookie was really what I was going with it. All right, we'll hit the headlines here. I'm Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, Bruins announced in a statement today that Charlie McAvoy's been ruled out. He's dealing with some sort of Wanted to just take a breather from the Red Sox and the McAvoy stuff. Reading from Tommy Curran of NBC Sports Boston. The Patriots running back position. Should the team make a bold move to shake up the room? Currently, the team has Ramondre Stevenson, Antonio Gibson, Jermichael Hasty, and Terrell Jennings. That's not good, everybody. Now, they can release Ramondre Stevenson before June 1st. They would take a $12.4 million cap hit in dead money. He's unreleasable. Now, could they trade Stevenson to a team that could actually block for him? They would only take on $1.6 million of dead money. Interesting. I think the Patriots need an upgrade at running back. Let me throw a name at you, Skaz. Let me know if you're interested. Aaron Jones. Played for Minnesota last year. Clearly on the back end. No doubt about it. The team needs an upgrade at running back. I think Stevenson can run. His problem is, can he hold on to the football? And I'll look up some other free agents. I also think they need to develop a young running back out of the draft. I mentioned Trevion Henderson just because of the relationship with Ohio State. But when it comes to the running back position, these are the top running backs in free agency. Because we got in or out coming up next. Let me know what you are, Skaz, on these ones. Aaron Jones, in or out?
I'm out.
James Conner.
Out.
Najee Harris.
Out.
J.K. Dobbins.
Out.
Javonte Williams.
Out.
Nick Chubb.
More in than any of the others, but yeah, it would depend on the money.
Kareem Hunt.
Out.
Rico Dowdle.
Out.
Alexander Madison.
Rico Dowdle maybe, though, as like a pass catcher. That might be something that Drake May could use. Who's the next guy?
Madison. Alex
out.
Madison.
Out.
Khalil Herbert.
Out.
That's the list of free agents.
The only problem I have with Aaron Jones, he's a good player, but he's 30. He ran indoors last year. He fumbled 5 times, too. So, like, he's a good player. He's probably, I think he's worse than Stevenson right now. He's older. The running back doesn't do it for me, Joe. I know we just watched the Eagles, and Saquon have a historic year, but they also had the best offensive line in football. I'm not too concerned about the Patriots running back position right now. I know it's something they need to improve, but it's not on the top, 5 of my list of things that I'm worried about with the Patriots this season.
All right. There's our running back talk. Short and sweet.
And any of those guys you're interested in, Joe?
Dowdle I like.
He's a pass catcher, right?
I think Nick Chubb can still run when healthy.
I think Chubb, of the names on that list, Chubb interests me the most.
I'd take a flyer on Chubb. And if he's not right, you cut him. Plus, is there a relationship with Doug Marrone and the offensive line and da-da-da-da-da? You know what I mean? And wasn't Vrabel with him last year?
Yeah, he was in Cleveland.
They got Sony Michel. You might as well get Nick Chubb too, right? We got in or out. It's coming up next here on the Sports Hub.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out? More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
you ever like watch food and you're like, I gotta change this? Like when the Phantom Gourmet does a marathon on the weekend, I'm instantly like, dude, I'm driving there.
I'll say I watch the Food Channel, every once in a while, but it never spurred. Like I've never watched it and been like, I got to make that dish. That's never happened to me.
I don't want to make it.
Yeah, no, I never. Certainly doesn't incline me to cook more, but yeah, it's piqued my interest a few times. We went out with some people on Saturday, and we were leaving the brewery we were at, and they were like, "Oh, we're thinking about getting food on the way home." And we recommended to them a place that had bacon at the Phantom Gourmet Food Festival, Joe, and they stopped there on their way back.
Barrel and Boards?
Yes, Barrels and Boards in Rainham. So they got some takeout on their way home on Saturday.
Bacon, bro. We met the owner. I don't remember what happened with that, but Barrels and Boards, is that what it's called?
Yes, correct.
I want your snack and bacon. Is that what they call it?
I believe so. I haven't been there personally. When we went to the Phantom Fest there, I was walking around with basically the mayor and Joe Murray, and that was one of the signature items.
And thank you to Dumpling Donner for sending me more dumplings. And they were the only, remember, all the food ran out, but there was only dumplings. I ate a lot of those dumplings that day. Oh. By the way, you want to know? I'm out. We're doing in or out, right? You know what I'm out on? When someone advertises thick bacon, but they give you regular bacon. I want thick bacon. I want it thick. I want the maple sauce. I want it hanging. I want it fat. Size matters. Should I just start making? Hey, Josh, do you know how to make stickers?
Yeah, figure it out.
All right. I have a lot of ideas. Size matters, 50-50, yes. I apologize, but I'm not sorry. There's a lot of slogans here.
Who poops in a Pringles can?
Always, always. In or out? What do we got tonight?
All right, Joe, a Tuesday night edition of In or Out. We're going to start in a place we don't usually start, Joe, the MLS. But Rev season underway Saturday night against Nashville, I believe.
I watched a little soccer today.
Yeah, Champions
AC
League.
Milan.
Yeah, they lost.
Dude got kicked out of the game.
Yeah, Teo Hernandez, I believe.
He got the yellow card. They went right up in his face like, you tried to fake it, blah.
Zlatan was not happy about that postgame.
I blame him. No. I blame him. I didn't have money on the game. I just watched it. It was on. Somebody else was very much rooting for them.
But yes, Joe, the MLS, Revs kicking off the season this Saturday night. The MLS is attempting to set a new standard for improving game flow and reducing dissent and referee crowding. With their new rule, the captain rule, this rule designates only team captains are allowed to communicate with the referees. Joe Murray, are you in or out on the only the captain rule?
In. They do it in hockey. Right? They do it in basketball, I think. Well,
yeah, basketball not so much, but hockey, yes. It's
college basketball or some other sport. And unfortunately, Skaz, although we are the flagship of the New England Revolution, and they send me jerseys, but not you, which we need to work on. I wanted to say Scaramazino right over the whole entire jersey. Scaramazino.
Looking like one of those Saltalamacchia jerseys.
Scaramazino.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be a sticker. Just Scaramazino. What color? What number would you be? What's like your favorite number? Do you have a number?
I used to wear 8, I guess, would be.
Scaramazino with an 8. Or 08. Anyways.
All right, Joe, we'll head to the world of Major League Baseball for our next In or Out. Joe Buck will be calling his first national MLB game since 2021. He will be doing the Yankees game, Yankees-Brewers, I believe, on opening day. Joe Murray, are you in or out on Joe Buck back to the national MLB booth?
In. I think he's one of the best You know why I think he's great? Is when great things happen, he shuts up. He just shuts up. So, I mean, listen, the guy, it's in his blood. Ridiculed early on in his career. Working with Tim McCarver must have been really hard. Now he works with Troy Aikman, who does a pretty damn good job. I love Joe Buck. I thought, by the way, Sean McDonough, shout out, I know him. I met him, don't know him. But I thought he was excellent in the hockey game. Not comparing. Joe Buck's a legend. Sean McDonough's done it all. But I would like more Joe Buck in baseball. In.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Joe Buck gets a little too much of the hate sometimes. I think he is very good. But Joe, sticking with the major four sports, what did the NFL? It was announced today that Netflix is trying to get a Sunday football package going. So games would be strictly on Netflix for Sunday afternoons. Joe Murray, are you in or out on more games on Netflix?
In. I'll say this, though. Last night, for like a minute, I turned Raw on Netflix. It was like the end of the show. And every time I tried to fast forward, it wouldn't work, and I just shut it off and went to bed. Like, I gave it like a minute, because we the best.
Joe, sticking with the Grand Theft Auto, the first clip from Grand Theft Hamlet. That's right, Grand Theft Hamlet, an immersive take on William Shakespeare's Hamlet, shot entirely, being told it's called Temptation Island.
Oh, okay, so they see if they cheat or not.
I think that is the premise, and unfortunately for Montoya...
Montoya's getting it on in that bed, isn't
I think he is not.
Oh.
I think maybe the person he brought to the island might be Joe. And he is unfortunately having to watch.
The Sports Hub, Beasley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, we're still waiting on an update from Charlie McAvoy, who'll miss the championship game on Thursday between USA and Canada. While the Red Sox camp continued, they signed Adam Ottavino to a minor league contract, while Vlad Guerrero and the Blue Jays missed a deadline for a contract extension. Headlines are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray, and I'm your DJ. Come play with your replay and turn your music up.
Here we go.
Boom. I win. Kaboom.
Yeah. It's so funny.
We've got a passion for Boston sports.
Get angry.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Listen, I don't want to make light of anything. I'm not one of the. I don't want to talk about whatever happened. I just think it's funny, the reaction. That's all. Okay? I respect everybody. I hope nobody was hurt. All that kind of stuff. Okay? So I don't want anyone to think I'm insensitive or any of that. But the A$AP Rocky reaction for being found not guilty is hilarious. Did you ever see the reaction of the guy that got found guilty and then just went right at the judge? I love that one. That was great. I miss court TV. Is it still going?
I think
remember we had the guy that showed up to his court hearing.
Oh, that's right.
With no license
from the car.
From the car.
Yes, never a good look. You're showing up for your suspended license trial, and you're on Zoom in your car.
That's a legendary one right there. Okay, so I gotta. Can I do play-by-play of this reaction quickly? So he's like waiting, you know. He's like waiting to hear. And then he gets the news and he like pushes everybody out of the way. And then he hugs somebody. And then he literally goes to give a hug and then he jumps in the stand. And then everyone's got their hands up in the air. And then he's hugging like 6 people at once. And this other person's crying. And everyone's hugging. And where'd he go? He's like crowd surfing. Then he comes back like, I'm sorry. I'm back now. I'm back. I just retweeted it at Joey Murr for those that want to find it. You know, people didn't like my singing. James Downing, this is hands down the best Boston sports radio show. Thank you. Brokerage Babe, what happened to Rihanna?
Nothing. She's just married to A$AP Rocky.
Yeah,
and he was found not guilty.
Yeah. Remember she was pregnant at the Super Bowl and danced? People didn't like. Everyone's got a problem.
I thought Rihanna was good at the Super Bowl.
I thought she was awesome.
Yeah.
But everyone had a problem because she was pregnant. Why does everyone have a problem with everything? Do we live in this age now?
Welcome to 2025, Joe.
How many times have we said that this week? Welcome to 2025. It's Tuesday.
It's also February.
It is. You're right. We're in the. Last night, a media guy reached out and goes, "Hey, man, can you give us a couple of topics that you would like to just not hear during this time of year. Skaz gave Mount Rushmore. The listeners gave draft talk. I gave trolling everyone over Eli Manning. So hopefully they write a story about it. I gave them plenty of content. So thank you for thinking of us. When you came to Joe, you can stick to radio, Joe, someone said. Yes, I one time tried to become a musician. My friends were in a band called Rozzy, and I would sing with them. And then I learned music. I learned how to do production. And then when I went to broadcasting school, they stuck me in a room by myself, and I produced a whole entire headline, and they went, whoa. And I said, well, I already know how to use all this stuff. And that's how I got a job. I'm a sniffer, and I'm a licker. Hashtag Joe. Joe looking great. Thank you. Who was I taunting? He says I was taunting somebody. I don't know. We have a chat, everybody. Brokerage Page loves Rihanna. What's another Rihanna song? I already mentioned Monster.
Diamonds is a big one.
Shine bright like a diamond. Ooh, I don't think I have any Rihanna.
Umbrella?
There might, dude, search Umbrella in the system.
Shut Up and Drive. Don't Stop the Music.
Please don't stop the music.
B Better Have My Money.
Yep. There might be an Umbrella in there.
I'll take a peek. That was like 2007, though,
Well,
Joe. We're
listen,
going to have to...
I started here in 2012. So I would tell you that in 2012, I was still rocking stuff from 07. Charlie McAvoy, Joe, you were mentioning he was injured in a sarcastic manner. I did? I don't remember that. Oh, Ashley Urena says work. Work, back. Hey, what's that song with Drake that she did? Why can't I remember?
Yeah. What's My Name?
Oh.
Take Care, I think she was also in.
What's My Name? Yep.
Work is, I think Drake is also in that.
Okay, Brian says, I had a problem with Rihanna at the Super Bowl because it seemed like she lip sang the whole time. Probably because she was pregnant. So don't perform then. Ooh.
Out on that take.
I don't like that take, Brian. I feel like you should be able to perform the Super Bowl in any condition. All right, well, there's our Rihanna. Oh, Rihanna will be 37 in 2 days. Can you believe that? It's always right around, it always comes back to the show somehow. We'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray. Oh, okay. Joe's online. We're going to go hold Joe. He has a Musings. Musings is at 8:50, but you know what? We'll allow it a little early. We'll take a break. We'll get to you. I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way.
reached out to me right now about Rihanna and how I should know. Someone has reached out to me about Kendra Middleton. We are having her on tomorrow night. Kendra had another episode of Men Who Need to Be Supervised. Dun, 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 dun. Like that could be a whole bit. Dum, dun, 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 ba. All right, do we go to the musings, Skaz, that someone has for me, or do we go to a lost track that you found?
Go to the people, Joe. He's been on hold.
All right, sure. This is Joe. He's in Connecticut, and he has a musings. Hello, Joe.
Hey, Joe. Listen, so I took my kid to McDonald's today, 4-year-old. Wanted a 6-piece McNugget Happy Meal with sweet and sour. And I go to this McDonald's and they say, we're out of sweet and sour. How does that happen? As a McDonald's corporation, you run out of sweet and sour sauce.
What was the alternative?
My kid was so disappointed, so sad, just ate dry nuggets tonight.
Oh, he ate them dry?
She did.
So instead of the Happy Meal, you got the sad meal.
She did. With the Pokemon. Hey, they had the Pokemon cards, though. That was kind of cool.
That's cool. Hey, those are big right now, bro.
But seriously, how does a McDonald's run out of sweet and sour sauce?
Well, Joe, I worked at a McDonald's one day in my life, and we never ran out of sweet and sour sauce. So that's... and you live in Connecticut. What part of Connecticut are you in?
Bro, we've talked before. So I'm in the northeast part, Danielson, right next to, Southbridge, Mass.
You're the Dudley guy. What's the name of What's the name of your joint?
We've talked before.
What's the name of your joint?
4Gs.
4Gs?
4Gs.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
No, I was looking for this. Okay, thank you. 4Gs. But, dude, okay, let's talk this out. You go up to the thing. You say, my daughter wants sweet and sour.
I don't say that. I say, I want a 6-piece Happy Meal. What sauce do you want? I want sweet and sour. Oh, we don't have that.
So then what? You froze. What would be what would be next? Barbecue?
I looked back at my kid. I said, what do you want? Do you want barbecue? She said, no. Nothing.
What about ranch?
So nothing.
What about ketchup?
She doesn't want it. She don't want it, dude.
She don't
wanted
want it. If it don't clap, but it walks.
She wanted sweet and sour. And how does a McDonald's run out of sweet and sour?
You know, here's my thing. I think there may have been sweet and sour in the back. They didn't want to go back there.
That's very possible.
You know, you should write a letter.
I don't know about that.
Well, dude, listen. Your daughter got the sad meal today. She ate dry nuggets. Who wants dry nuggets?
Nobody, except for her, maybe.
No. Listen, I love me some nuggets, okay? But I ain't eating them dry.
Me too.
I'm either not eating them or I'm I'll put if I had a tier of sauces, okay? McDonald's now.
Okay.
Barbecue, sweet and sour, ranch. Does she like honey mustard?
Okay.
What about honey mustard? Why didn't you try to? I feel like you now should have maybe taken the opportunity to try something new.
Bro, you don't think I asked her all of those questions?
All right. Well,
how do you feel about some Asian sweet chili?
They used to make
sweet chili wings are the best, bro.
Oh, I love sweet chili wings. But listen, do they? What else? Like your daughter's just a sweet and sour, huh?
That's it, bro.
I have
wanted some chicken nuggets with some sweet and sour.
I have a confession. I have 8 sweet and sour containers by themselves.
Okay.
Like,
are they the red ones?
No. Like, you know,
the red sweet and sour.
No. You know how you get a sweet and sour from McDonald's, and it's that green sweet and sour, you know, the little cup. You know, the sauce.
Yeah.
I don't need the. I never needed the nuggets or fries. I would just lick it.
That's. Ooh. Jeez Louise, Joseph Murphy.
No, I'm not Murphy. Murray is the name. But yes, Joseph Murphy. That guy, yeah. I'm a licker.
Joseph Murray.
I have stuck my finger in it. I have licked it.
Oh.
Wow. This didn't come out the way I wanted it to, okay? But listen, I don't
okay.
Sometimes
I know what you mean, though.
Sometimes I just want the sauce. I don't need the nuggets.
Dude, sometimes you just need the sauce. And how can a McDonald's be out of sweet and sour sauce?
You know what, dude? I feel like
this is my musing.
Now, your 4Gs, do you guys run out?
No, we don't run out of sweet and sour sauce.
Have you ever run out of anything? Can I give you another one? Another musing real quick on this? Okay? So let's say you...
Please.
Okay, all right. Let's say you ordered chicken fingers and fries from a fast food joint, right? They offer you sauces, but you have to pay 50 cents for it. Why? Why am I paying for... I want... Like, if I want sauce, I'll get, like, buffalo on my... You know what I'm saying? So why do I have to pay 50 cents for the sauces?
The first one should be free. But anything after that is at cost. You got to pay, bro. The restaurant got to make money, too.
Okay, I get that. Now, here's another one. Okay?
The first one's free.
Okay. Why? When I order sweet and sour from fast food, how come they give it to me like it's in a, like, you ever get Asian food and they put it in, like, you know, that little, like, plastic rip thing? You know? It's kind of like, remember Freeze Pops growing up? You know the Freeze Pops I'm talking about? That just had the syrup in it.
Yeah, you got to use your teeth to cut the top off.
Why is it not in a ramekin? Why is it in a top off?
Well, I mean, dude, like, that costs money.
Well, ketchup comes in a top off.
Okay.
A packet. I don't want a packet. You wanted sweet and sour.
You don't want a packet of soy sauce. You want a cup.
I want a cup.
You want a cup.
Yes.
I understand.
You know what? I'm surprised. Is your daughter okay?
My daughter's fine, bro. What the heck?
No, I had to ask. You had a music for me, and then it turned into my own. It turned into my own music. You know that?
Yeah. I like that.
All right. Well, I'll get up to 4G soon, bro. Appreciate your call. Thanks, man. That was amusing. Does that ever happen to you, Skaz? Who? Naked Nuggets? No. Have you ever licked a cup of sweet and sour sauce by itself?
I can't say that I have, Joe.
You've never cracked open a pack of ketchup and just squirted it in your mouth?
No, absolutely not.
Well, I'm crazy then, huh?
I'm not raw dogging any condiments, Joe. That's not for me. The condiments are a condiment. You're putting them on something.
Call right now if you've done this. 617-779-0985. Josh, take their name, where they're from, put them right through. 5 calls. Says it all. Right now. Have you done this before? Dry sauced. Is that what we're going to call this?
The Naked Nuggets sounds like a bad cover band, Joe.
Naked Nuggets out. Sauce all day. I need the sauce more than the meat.
A lot of drops from this last segment, Joe.
I'm right about this. I have stuck my finger in it. It didn't come out the way I wanted. It didn't come out the way I wanted. I know you've done this out there because I've done it. 5 calls says it all. Let's start with Nick in Milford. Nick.
Hey, long-time listener, first-time caller because the sauce thing is driving me nuts. First of all, I work at a place that sells like tenders and fries and tots and sauces, and you would be surprised how many people say they want no sauce. when you ask them, like, what kind of sauce would you like? And we're all immediately suspicious of you if you say no sauce.
No on naked nuggets.
No on naked nuggets.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Nick. I need the sauce more than the meat. Okay, Yes. I'm glad. When you look at them weird too, right? You give them the eye.
I assume you have like a shipping container buried in your backyard with people in it if you want no sauce.
It's weird. Thanks, Nick. Shane's in Waltham. Hey, Shane. Shane. Hey, Shane. No naked nuggets. This is the spot where we usually have a guest, guys. All the guys are at the Four Nations that we reached out to.
Or they're playing trivia.
What's their team name? Naked Nuggets. All right, Josh. Come on, buddy. Let's go. How's he doing back there?
It's an uphill battle.
It's supposed to be 5 calls, says it all. Just put him on. Hey, what's your name? Put him on hold. Here we go. Mike's in Rhode Island. Hey, Mike. Mike. Hey, Mike, you're on the air,
on
buddy.
Rhode Island.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Joe. So I've never raw dogged the sauce, as you say, but one thing that I'm sure you'd be a fan of. So you know how you have the sauce cup and you open the lid.
Yes.
And there's a little bit of sauce stuck on the lid.
Yes.
Well, you don't waste that sauce.
You lick
I always
it.
go I don't lick it, but I go bottom of the bun so I don't waste it. So if I get like a burger and I get nugged,
you bottom of the
I'll
bun
take that little strip and I'll put it on the bun underneath the patty, so you don't get the cheese stuck to it. You don't waste a drop of sauce. I'm telling you, Joe. It's the way to go.
You're using it in a good way. I lick it and then I stick it on the container of the
you
nuggets.
stick it back to the top of the box.
No,
yeah.
yes, on
I
the
do
box.
that afterwards, but I don't lick
Yes.
it. Maybe licking it saves the whole middleman. You just go right to the tongue.
That's right.
And you put the nugget right on the tongue.
Yep.
I kind of like that idea.
Exactly. That should be like a stamp of approval. The little right on the back of the container. Jordan. Oh, who's this? Bob. Bob, you're on.
Joe, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Joe, birria tacos. Have you ever had birria tacos?
I don't think so.
Comes with a consomme, a dip. You dip the taco into the consomme. Could drink that stuff like crazy. Give it a try.
Jordan's in Haverhill. Jordan.
Hey, Joe, how you doing?
Hey.
So I can definitely relate to you on eating the sauce just alone as a kid. No matter what, Burger King, McDonald's, that sweet and sour. After I'm done with it, I lick the whole bit out of the container. I love it. I don't know how other people aren't trying this.
You agree with me then? You do it.
Oh, yeah, of course. I still kind of have a ketchup.
Tongue or finger?
Tongue. I don't know about the finger, but tongue, yeah, definitely tongue.
Thank you. Verified. I said 5 calls says it all, but we'll have some fun here. You good? Josh, you good? All right, here we go. Eric, how you doing, Eric?
Hey, how's it going? I got word on the sauce.
Yes.
So the way I see it is there's too much trash out there. I don't want the Chick-fil-A sauce. Every place I go to, I say, you got buffalo. We got spicy sriracha. Maybe we could hook you up with something spicy. But there's never just straight buffalo. Very few places will have the good stuff, and it's all just trash. Sweet and sour, ketchup, mustard. Give me the spice, man.
He wants the spice. Ben's in Cambridge. Ben.
Hey, I had to naked nug last night, and it was a traumatizing experience, but I had ordered one of those, it was a new, bacon quarter pounder with cheese, and it had barbecue sauce on it, so I wanted sweet and sour, and instead they sent me barbecue sauce, so I can't double barbecue sauce. So I naked nugged, and it wasn't the worst thing in the world, I gotta say.
Out. Nick is in the car. Hey, Nick.
Hey, what's going on, Joe?
Hey.
I am definitely a lick, finger bang the whole.
Yes. Ryan. Hey, Larry. Hey, Ryan.
What up, dog? Yo, I just gotta bring this to the table. The Outback ranch dressing, I have raw dogged that so hard, and I just wanted to let you know.
Nixon Waltham, he's back.
We say that, Joe?
I think so.
Wendy's barbecue sauce with the nuggets. You got to do the Wendy's barbecue sauce.
Okay, and what about it though? Do you lick it or what do you do?
You got to lick it. You got to finger it. You got to make love to it.
All right. One more.
I had to naked nug last night, and it was a traumatizing experience.
One more. Tony's in Taunton. Hey, Tony.
Listen, if you give me some really good ranch dressing, I'm telling you, whatever container that's in, it's going to be more happy than my girlfriend. I'll tell you that.
We got to go to headlines. I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub Headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
I gotta eat good, and you know I will. I got the best burger, and you know I'm the king. Chips on the side.
All right, back here, 98.5 The Sports. Let me take you to McDonald's. I think you like that. Gotta take a deep breath, everybody. The funniest line was, I said, wow, that we usually do a guest at this time. And you go, yeah, they're all at trivia. Oh, my God. All right. Keep it clean, everybody. It's not 9 o'clock yet. We might be losing the internet soon, by the way. So just a heads up to everybody. Kyle. Hello, Kyle.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
So, yes, I have dry sauced, and my 2-year-old daughter has also dry sauced.
How do you feel about that?
Pretty good. I mean, for her, the nuggets are just an obstacle. I mean, she would have just straight dip if she could.
I love the dip. What's your favorite dip? What's your favorite sauce?
Favorite McDonald's sauce or just general?
Well, how about both?
All right, so at McDonald's right now, it's the spicy pepper sauce, but they don't, as far as I know, offer it in one of those little rip tops.
Okay.
And then in general, probably buffalo chicken dip.
Oh my God,
Stuff's addictive.
I love buffalo chicken. What kind of chip do you use for your buffalo dip?
Scoops.
Scoops.
Gotta be Scoops.
Scoops are fantastic. You know, a nice Ruffles Ridge is very good for a dip.
Yeah.
But if we're talking buffalo, so you're talking Tostitos scoop.
Yeah.
Can I give you a recommendation?
Of course.
What about a Frito scoop?
Ooh.
Can you save that ooh? Oh, boy. What about a Frito scoop?
Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm so stupid. What about a Frito scoop?
Ooh.
Should we really do the musics now?
Ooh.
Nick in Waltham again. Hello.
I just wanted to get your opinion on the duck sauce thing.
Okay, what's the difference between... There's a difference between duck sauce and sweet and sour, right?
Is there? I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. You got to judge the Chinese joint on the duck sauce, don't you?
Okay, duck sauce is like a condiment of sweet and sour flavor that has a little bit of a thin jelly, wouldn't you say?
I would say, yeah. I'm just trying to wonder the difference myself. So the sweet and sour, there's definitely a difference with the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, I think one's a jelly, while the other is more of a sugar, vinegar, soy sauce, ketchup kind of thing.
That's what I was calling. I figured you would be the man to ask a question to.
You're welcome.
Ooh.
The only song that comes in my head is the bum 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 bum.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3. Ooh. Oh my God. Let me take you to McDonald's. What does the Pillsbury Doughboy do, Skaz?
Ooh. Ooh.
Einbein from the chat. What's up?
Hey, Joe Murray, my man, how you doing? Shout out to the chat.
What up, chat?
I can, I'll eat nuggies all day without any kind of sauce. That's just how I am. I don't care. However, I have a hot take for you. Dairy Queen's white gravy that they serve with their chicken fingers, man.
Dairy Queen, huh?
Fantastic stuff.
White gravy, huh? How do they give it to you in a? Like, how do you get it?
You get you buy the chicken fingers, you get the Texas toast, some French fries, and then you get the white gravy, and it's heavenly. And I will definitely use my finger to scoop every bit of it out of the little container.
Fingers, not tongue, right?
Well, I mean, it's too big a container for tongue. I mean, you hit the really
Sure.
tongue.
Do you like clam chowder?
Oh, I love clam chowder.
How do you finish off your clam chowder?
Well, it's kind of personal.
Ooh.
We have to go to break. I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Team USA versus Canada on Thursday night. Red Sox training camp continued today. Adam Ottavino signed a minor league deal. Vlad Guerrero Jr. missed the deadline with the Blue Jays on an extension. And, well, the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, still in the league. He's back. Headlines, they are brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss with a 98% customer satisfaction rating. Thousands of 5-star reviews. The choice is clear. Awaken180weightloss.com. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update soon.
No matter where you go, you're always connected to Boston sports with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app. Download it wherever you get your apps today.
On stuff in the world unrelated to sports. So sit back, relax, and get your mind in the game and listen to the words of a grown man complain.
But I would like to take this call. His name is Jeff. He's in Londonderry. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for taking the call. Hey, listen, I don't want to threaten the integrity of any condiment recipes, but as an American who's not keen on ketchup, I have spent some time in an amateur capacity, of course, exploring some condiments. And to the duck sauce sweet and sour, I think you were right. What we view as sweet and sour, like fast food sweet and sour, I think that is like a soy, corn syrup, what have you. Is it possible that there's like a fruit puree that's part of the duck sauce, maybe like a pear or a plum type of situation that gives it that granular feeling along the tongue, that filmy? You know, I don't know. Your thoughts, dude.
Well, Jeff, real quick. Oh, he hung up, but man, you were really, really poetic. You, sir, sounded like a connoisseur.
I was going to say, he sounded like a sauce sommelier.
Well, do you think that there's any peach left over?
Common fruits found in duck sauce could be plums and or apricots. Sounds like that gentleman might have been right on the nose.
I'm not right. I just like to eat the food. People are like, oh, Joe, you're a food. I eat the food. I don't cook it. Like, just make it. Hey, dude, I'm going to use this. No, I don't care what you use. Feed me. I want to eat it. All right, Skaz. Should I set up the music or should you?
Well, Joe, do we have the same one? So I got one.
Well, the question is, who's the a-hole?
Yes, Joe. Which is a question it feels like often posed on the night show.
This could be dun dun dun. Who's the a-hole?
Yes, Joe. Going viral today, in multiple different places. But who's the a-hole? A bride gets upset as a baby cries during her no kids wedding. Joe Murray, are you team bride or are you team crying child here?
Well, the rules said no kids wedding, right? Someone didn't follow the rules. They're the a-hole.
I'm with you 100%. And if you watch the video, the kid is wailing is strong, but it doesn't seem like this was an isolated incident or a short incident either. So if someone says no kids wedding, it's their day. Leave the kid. Find a babysitter. If you can't, don't go.
Who is this person? Like, is it a friend, family member?
Oh, that I don't know.
Sister? No, but that's the question.
I think that is important as well.
Like, what if it's your cousin's watching the aunt's kid because, you know, she never goes out, but the cousin had to get her like a thing, and I don't know. The a-hole is the person who brought the kid. But you know what, though? Brides, on their day, when things don't go to, like, their way, things do get... I mean, there was a show called Bridezilla. Did you ever see that?
I've never seen it, but I'm familiar.
You're familiar. It's just that, like, you know, they want everything to be perfect. Unfortunately, relationships aren't perfect, just like your wedding's not going to be. Who's the a-hole? I like this bit. But you know what, though? I understand both sides, but I side with the bride.
If your kid starts crying in the middle of a ceremony, just get up and take him outside quick. Take him into the hallway, whatever it is.
I told you I went to Catholic school, right?
You've mentioned it.
Like church, okay? When a baby's crying in church, can you please take the baby outside? Please. How about a restaurant? I'll just take church out of it. You're at a restaurant. You have no nuggets. You're just eating sauce.
No sauce.
No, you're just eating sauce. Baby cries. Who's the a-hole? Our former intern Bryson checking in. He has texted me. He's been texting me all night. But he goes, I just tuned in. And first thing I hear is a soundbite. This the show I live for. Bryson, I ask you, sir. Bryson's a man of integrity, wouldn't you say?
Bryson is in the chat, and he has said Team Bride.
Okay. He's a man of integrity, though, right? I mean, he's from Oklahoma. Naked nuggets or sauce?
I would call Bryson a Southern gentleman.
Very Southern. I would like to know this. No, JP goes, that wasn't a kid crying. It was Joe when he saw lettuce. The antipasto at the reception. Out! It was funny. I almost asked Ein Bein if he used his leg. His because you know how he said his leg makes a fart? Well, I asked him if he sticked his finger. He said he sticked his finger in the sauce. And when I asked him how does he finish the clam chowder, he was very private about it. So I probably should have asked about his leg, right? I feel like I missed an opportunity there, Skaz. Whenever I think about legs, and I always think of The Sopranos with Svetlana. Have you gone this far yet?
I'm aware of Svetlana.
Well, you ask, you receive. Bryson, hello, sir.
Well, hey, it's been a minute, all right? Like you said, I have integrity, all right? I have integrity where I'm from. But the thing is, if you're having good food, I understand McDonald's isn't like good food or anything, but if you're having good food, okay, the meat, if it's seasoned well enough, you don't need condiments or anything, all right? But if you're going to McDonald's and you're getting some, McNuggets there, Chick-fil-A getting some chicken McNuggets over there, all right, you need some dipping sauce with it, whether it be Chick-fil-A sauce, cane sauce, ketchup, all right? Those kinds of places, you need your sauces, okay? But if someone makes you nuggets, tenders, whatever kind of meat it is, all right, it is disrespectful to be like, oh, here's a steak, and we put A1 on it, all right? That is just disrespectful to the chef.
All right, let me ask you this. Have you ever just licked sauce without any meats?
Oh, 100%. You got to taste it first to see if it's going to be good.
So where I'm going with it is, at a McDonald's, I have just ate sweet and sour packs before.
I don't blame you for that, all right? They're not bad.
Have you done it?
But, like, sometimes you don't know if the sauce is going to be good, if you're going to like it, until you do a little, dab on the pinky, taste it real quick. We're getting a little fancy up in this place.
So you dab a pinky?
Majority of the time to figure out if I like it, all right? Like, that's the thing. Like, like the Szechuan sauce, when it comes around every, once in a millennia, like the first time it came back, I didn't know if I was going to like it, so I got it, dipped my pinky, and I was like, this is pretty fire.
Let me ask you something. What is something that Boston has that Oklahoma City doesn't have?
Good Italian food.
Yeah, no.
Good.
Like what kind of what do you mean by Italian though?
Literally anything. All right, some good pesto sauce. All right, some good marinara. Like anything, like Italian, really. Like even the chicken parms. All right. I never had a chicken parm until I came up to Boston.
They don't make chicken parms in Oklahoma City?
No.
Well, the first thing you got to do about finding a chicken parm is finding a place that has a chicken parm.
Yeah, that is true.
Where do you go? There's a place I go
to by TD Garden, Filippo's. Best chicken parm I've ever had in my life.
Filippo's, shout out. Did you hear that?
I love Filippo's. It was the first restaurant I ever went to when I first moved to Boston.
Okay. What's your favorite sauce? What's your favorite sauce?
I like a good pesto sauce.
Pesto. Okay.
I like a good pesto sauce. Even like with linguine and some scallops in there. When I go to Giacomo's, that's when I order some linguine with a pesto sauce with some scallops in there. Fire.
How about the fish? Is the fish better here than there?
It depends on the fish.
How about lobster?
Of course, yeah. Lobster's much better here. Crab is, much better. All right. Shrimp is better. But if you're getting like, just regular fish and everything, like back home, all right, a good tilapia, good catfish, whatever it may be, because we know how to fry our foods down in the South.
Hey, what's up with SGA? Got rid of his agent. Is he going rogue?
I wouldn't say that. He has a big contract coming up in 2027, I believe. He is up for an extension worth $80 million per year.
Yeah, they got to pay him that or what?
Well, cutting out his, middleman now, he can take what he truly wants without having to pay, worry about paying his middleman a certain amount. So now he can take less and actually help out the team while making the same amount.
Can you believe the Clippers traded him?
Oh, it's the greatest trade that ever happened in history. The best part is the Thunder have a chance of having a lottery pick this year and 2 others.
You think that trade was better than the Celtics trading back from 1 to 3 to get Jason Tatum?
It's up there. Because, like, you look at what the Thunder got in return, because they also got Jalen Williams. They secured a future here. Then they also have a chance to secure someone great in a loaded draft class this year. I'm looking out for guys from Ratio Farm Ulm right now, Noah Singwe and Ben Seraph. Those guys are ballers, and they can fall all the way back into, the late 10s to early 20s.
All right, dude. What are you up to? Want to tell everybody how they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Bryson Akins. You can follow me on my YouTube channel, Thunder Digest. Over there, I cover all things Thunder-related. Got some good guests coming on from the Thunder as well here soon, if you guys want to come there and check that out. But that's about it. Hopefully you can find me at some radio station here in a few months if I land something somewhere.
Thanks, Bryson.
Of course.
Later, buddy. Got to always get the idea from a Midwesterner, Is that Midwest? Yeah, close enough.
It's mid.
It's mid.
Southern mid.
Should we just take Craig? Hey, Craig.
Brother, can you hear me?
Yeah.
My man, I'm going to put you on some of the most world champion barbecue sauce in New England and in the world from Smokin' Hogs barbecue sauce. Have you ever heard of these cats?
I follow them on Instagram.
Okay, so you know about Sean Gillespie, Bill Gillespie and his wife Shawnee. You know what is up. I'm going to tell people that have not tried their sauces out.
It's Hogs with a Z, right?
Exactly. Well, yeah, smoking with no G.
Yep, with
Hogs,
Hogs
2
with a
G's and a Z. Smoking Hogs, exactly.
Yep. No,
but
I've
if you
seen 'em.
just Google Bill Gillespie, you'll find out Bill Gillespie is one of the baddest barbecue men in the world. He's won multiple world championships. He is such an absolute solid guy. And his sauces, and I have tested and tasted and cooked all of them, bro, are out.
Have you ever just drank the sauce without any of the beef?
Yeah, actually, yes. I have opened up the fridge.
So see
I have
that?
opened up the fridge. I've done it, dude. I'm with you.
How about a little bit of smoking applewood rub with a little bit of barbecue sauce?
A little bit of smoking applewood? Exactly, dude.
Any pineapple in there?
He might have some pineapple in there, man. He's got a couple secrets in there, but I'm gonna tell you, when I say I got a channel on YouTube called Barbecue It. I have tested them all, man, and this guy's sauce is just second to none. And he's got a red cherry sauce that'll make you die. It'll absolutely make you die. It's just unbelievable.
All right, well, if you're offering, bro, fine.
Hey, man, I need to bring you some barbecue, dude.
Well, listen.
You tell me when and where.
You email me, Joe Murray at 985thesportsup.com.
Okay. I'll email you, Joe, and we'll make it happen, dude. I'll bring you something.
Thank you, Craig. You asked on birthday that I should get to out of the way because, well, one time I thought that he was dead, but he's not. Do you want me to tell you who that is? If Riz was here, he would know. Happy birthday to Dr. Dre. Yoko Ono turns 92 years old today. Sybil Shepherd, 75. I mentioned John Travolta, 71. Vanna White is 68. Matt Dillon, 61. I mentioned Dr. Dre is 60. Molly Ringwald, 57 years old today. Wow, there's some bangers for birthdays today. Who else am I missing here? That Angry Grandma's 81. I like to watch those videos.
Andy Moog is 65.
Andy Moog, yes.
Moog, 65.
Andy Moog, former Bruins goaltender, 65. You know who Dr. Dre is there, Josh? Okay, just making sure. With a producer and a rapper who control the maestro at the same time with the dope rhyme that I kick. All right, guys. You got anything else for us tonight? I think I've got my... I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray.
Go over the rundown. What have we missed so far, Skaz? I always like to lean on the old rundown. Did the Patriots thing? Oh, this should we mention the Celtics for a minute here? The Celtics have the third easiest schedule remaining. The strength of schedule, rest of the way. The Celtics. You fired up for this? You fired up for that, Skez?
The Celtics second half?
Yeah, easiest schedule second half.
I think this is a Get right is strong, but I think this is going to be a very heavily managed second half for the Celtics. We're going to get some blowouts. I think we're going to get some rest. And just hang around that, 2 to 3 seed in the East. They'll be fine.
Celtics go to the 76ers Thursday. Sunday, they are taking on the New York Knicks.
1 o'clock.
At the Garden.
The Garden.
Then they go to Toronto. And then they go to Detroit. Then Friday, February 28th. This is going to be a good one. They host the Cleveland Cavaliers. Then on Sunday, March 2nd, they host Denver. I'm working that Sunday. Do you know that? Mm-hmm. So I will be the pre-game show. Yes. Then they host the Blazers, 76ers, Lakers, Jazz. March 12th, there's a nice little Thunder matchup. Then they go to Miami, Brooklyn. I mean, their toughest road trip will be Utah, Portland, Sacramento, Phoenix, San Antonio, Memphis. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. 5 games. 5-game road trip right there. That's the season right there, Skaz. That little 5-game stretch there. Then we're right into April, baby. Heat at home, Suns at home, Wizards at home. They go to New York one more time. Then they go to Orlando. And they wrap up the season in a home-and-home with the Hornets. That's going to be Baylor Shireman night. Jordan Walsh night, baby. Drew Peterson. Torrey Craig. Those guys. You know? What's J.D. Davison doing?
It's like G League Player of the Year right now.
Right.
Tearing it out. He's averaging like 30 a game.
So let's look ahead. Today is February 18th. We need to get to April 13th, guys. So it's February 18th, right?
Joe, I'm just trying to get to tomorrow, all right?
Me too. I live hour by hour nowadays. But, so it's February 18th. A month from today, they will be playing the Brooklyn Nets at home.
Woof.
And then, a month from then, will be the end of the season. We got to get through this, man. I told you, I started football, whatever it was, August 12th. And this was the first weekend without football. Now we have basically 2 more months of Celtics, and then it's playoffs. And then we get into May. And then June, baby. Repeat. It's on. The repeat is on. I told you I'm not a reporter, but I have heard this Drew Holiday shoulder thing might be worse than we anticipated. Doesn't mean I know anything. I don't have sources. You concerned?
I am not concerned about the Drew Holiday thing because I think they'll manage it. They don't need him in the regular season. Drew Holiday is here for, one reason, that's to win championships and be a, very good defender and an elite ball handler late in games in the playoffs. I don't need to see Drew Holiday play, more than 15 games the rest of the regular season. So whatever it is, I'm sure they'll manage it. And I am not worried about Drew Holiday's health.
Okay. I want Drew Holiday to go where Porzingis did during the All-Star break. Did you see that?
Looked pretty nice.
Oh, Dennis is here. What's that mean? I mean, we're going down?
Soon. I think soon.
Do you think he's been listening?
I think he's been working.
No, but do you think he heard the
sauce talk?
The sauce talk? Instead of socks talk.
From socks talk to sauce talk on the Joe Murray Show.
Oh, man. Can you get us to 2 more months? Because the Bruins, I don't know, man. I don't know if they'll get it. Will they get us to mid-April? Should I look up their schedule right now? I don't think I want to. Bruins schedule. Oh, jeez. All right, you ready? Bruins come back on Saturday. They host Anaheim. They play Toronto, the Islanders, Penguins, Wild, Predators, Hurricanes. Just bums. Bums. Middle of March, it's Ottawa, Linus Allmark. You get the Lightning. They do go to Vegas in March 20th. Man, they have a schedule, huh? Holy smokes. So I'll give you their out of the break here. They'll have the Ducks, Leafs, Islanders, Penguins, Wild. Then they host Nashville. They go to Carolina, go to Tampa Bay, and then they host the Panthers. Woof. Then it's the Senators, Lightning, Sabres. They go to Vegas, go to the Sharks, go to the Kings, go to the Ducks, go to the Red Wings. That's going to be an interesting trip. That March 20 through end of March, essentially on April 1st, we'll know where the Bruins stand because of that stretch right there. April 1st, it's Washington. They go to Montreal, Carolina, Buffalo, Devils, Chicago, Penguins, Devils. That's the trip right there. March 20th through 29th. Can they hang on? Like, that's a West Coast road trip right there. Vegas, San Jose, L.A., Anaheim, Detroit. That's a road trip right there. They get 2 back-to-backs in there. Every other day for the rest of the way for the most part. Man. It's going to be a tough road for the Bees. All right, we'll get our final headline of the night. I'm Joe Murray here in the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, Bruins announce Charlie McAvoy out for the Four Nations final. USA. Harry Chronic Jr. is checking in on YouTube. Watching you in HD for the first time. I'm looking good. Thank you. I trimmed my beard yesterday. I didn't do my brows, though. My baba does my brows. And he also gets the ear hair, which is gross. I did not get D'Agostino's 2-3-47 cycling, but when I go to Winchester, yes, I get my beard done, and then I go across the street to D'Agostino's and I get a chicken parm from them. And I asked him for the Parmesan cheese on it. To answer your question. What's the latest on Charlie McAvoy, everybody? Team USA defenseman Charlie McAvoy expected to miss multiple weeks of action after undergoing a procedure on Tuesday to cut out and clean an infection. McAvoy was ruled out of the Four Nations face-off winner-take-all game versus Canada, a crushing blow. McAvoy, 27, was hospitalized on Monday night after sources indicated he had severe pain from an infection that